This is Alan Karpik with Lewis Jackson, a player that needs no introduction to the Purdue fan base, to be sure. And Lewis, first, thanks for taking the time to do this, but I think I can speak for just about everybody. Everybody's pretty excited that you're going to be playing in the TBT starting on July the 23rd. It's great to see number 23 going back at it again in that gold and black uniform.
Definitely appreciate you having me. First and foremost, always grateful to come talk to you. Very exciting. TBT is going to be very excited. I'm actually super excited. Just even seeing the fans' response on Twitter when it got announced, it got me even that much more excited to put back on the black and gold and represent Purdue one more time.
You know, you're in West Lafayette now, working with Raphael Davis's camp out at Harrison High School, but you know, it's always good to be loved, I guess they always say, and you were, and appreciated, you know, for your efforts and all that you did for Purdue basketball 2009 to 2012. You took me through it a little bit off air, but how this all came to pass, because you know, this was not a new idea to a lot of former players about playing in this tournament. And then last year, you know, the momentum started for you to be a part of this team. But tell us how this all came about.
It all came about like me discussed a little bit previously. We've had discussions, me, Rob Hummel, Jawan, and each one's always been on that NBA contract. So we at least thought maybe possibly a general manager situation for him. And we just always kind of conversated like, man, it'd be cool to play. You got Kramer still, Keaton was still playing, and we were like, it's always good to get back out there and play with former teammates. And the TBT was obviously the best opportunity because it benefited us all in. Schedules just didn't line up. Guys may have a month or two off and families and take vacations. So we never did it. And then full circle comes around last year. They have it in the bubble. I didn't know too much about who was running it. We all just, the older guys we all tried to wonder like who put the team together. And it wasn't a disrespect to the guys that were playing. We need more of our guys out there as far as Purdue guys. We should be out there being able to represent us, because we have a lot of talent in the Purdue family just down the years. You know, it kind of started being rumblings. And then actually on my birthday, Ryan K sent me an Instagram message and just asked me like, hey, you still play basketball? Would you be interested in playing in the TBT? And just him saying it and seeing the competition, I always wanted to play in it just to compete. It's a great level of competition. I was like, yeah, I would definitely be interested. So he just like, let's stay in contact. And, you know, we kind of basically start talking about players and just start going through different names here and there. And I felt like with some of the guys I knew personally, I possibly could talk them into just thinking about playing. And then the ball just rolled. AJ Hammons, once AJ got on board, I was like, cool. And me and Rob discussed it before, but we knew with USA Basketball, we already kind of knew that was his main focus, and that was very understandable. And then just so happened the cards lines up. He loses, and then it's like, hey, let's think about it. You're in shape. I'm playing. Rhino's coaching. Kelsey's coming. It's kind of like the perfect storm, and mixing the rest of the young guys in. That's Purdue guys. It's like it's kind of just a perfect storm, and it's fell into place well.
Yeah. How much have you? So you've been playing a lot recently over the last few years. And tell us about where you are from a basketball skill set. I mean, I know you're fast, so that's all good. But tell me where you are right now.
I mean, basketball wise, I still play. I'm still in great shape, but realistically, like we all know, like it's a different level of competition. Like you can't simulate that type of play at a high level in open gyms. I've played, I mean, most of my high school friends, and I got other guys, they were college players, some ex-pros, but it's still a different level when you're in. So, I mean, that's the only thing as far as just wondering probably just the intensity of it. But being a competitor, I mean, I know I just need to be in shape. I'm going to guard, I can make some open shots, and just play smart.
Yeah, I know that Seth Greenberg I think on Twitter yesterday said, one thing we know about Lewis Jackson, he can guard. So tell me, you got the Volunteers in that 8-9 game, July 23rd, 7 p.m., I believe is on ESPN. Give me a little early scouting report. Tennessee's going to have some talented guards that you're going to get a chance to check. Tell us what you think there.
I mean, when you see Tennessee's name, especially the era I played basketball, a lot of those names are noticeable names. You know those guys. Just the first thing that pops out to me is it's a dogfight.
Yeah.
It's going to be a dogfight. Who's going to be more competitive? And I think just us as Boilermakers. I talked to Kelsey a week ago, and like he just says, like the one thing he knows about us, we're going to play defense.
Yeah.
So we're going to still do the Purdue mantra. We're going to hang our hats on defense, and offense should be there. But we have to lock down our defenders. We got big 7-footers down there, so play Purdue basketball. That's all we're trying to go out and do, and the rest will take care of itself.
All right, now Ryan Smith, former teammate. Easy to take direction from a guy like that. How's the coach player? How do you see the coach player relationship going in that environment?
It'll be interesting because it's Rhino. Because that's
Yeah.
my teammate. That's my guy. My first roommate. So I respect Rhino's basketball mind frame. I think anybody that knows him, one, you respect him because you know how hard he worked in college to get to the position he is. He's a competitor. He knows the game. I know his backstory. I know his dad is a coach.
Yeah.
So and he did well last year with those guys. And I think the pieces we added on is going to be nothing but respect. And Rhino is going to probably be more of a player coach. He's probably going to be able, Rob may say something. I may say something. He's going to hear everybody, but I think everybody's professional and it's going to work well. I may laugh a couple of times, but
yeah,
I'm going to do it. I trust.
Yeah, that's good. I think you got to play this. You guys are going to play hard. You got to do it. Have some fun doing it. Talk about that. You go into Columbus and you're playing in the second round. You got to win 3 the first weekend, and then to get to the second weekend. Do you envision, and obviously this is going to be a Ryan Smith decision as much as anything, but how many minutes do you, any clue to how the rotation may work? Or is it, and I know you're going to have a mini camp, as I understand, a little bit before too, to kind of get a feel for what you have out there.
Yeah, rotation wise is going to be very interesting just because we're so versatile. We got size, we go big, we can go small. I think that's going to be more on Ryan, just the adjustments of the game. And I think all the guys we got on our team are understanding of that and going to understand, when it comes first at the end of the day. So if you got the hot hand, this rotation is working, this is what we need to do. We're obviously in it for the goal to win it all. So we just got to adjust on the fly, and who's ever hot and who's ever playing well, that's what we have to go with.
Yeah, you're going to have a pretty formidable inside game with Isaac Haas and obviously AJ Hammond's inside. It's going to give you guys a distinct advantage, one would think, over a lot of these teams. Talk about matchups and maybe in this type of tournament and the level of play, how big how big a part of that comes into play in a tournament like this.
Having those two guys down there just as footers, it changes everything. Like you said, a lot of teams probably maybe have a 6'8", 6'9" guy playing the big. So just having those two, and both of them are very skilled offensively as well as defensively, it's going to cause a lot of matchup problems. And then, I always heard fans say they wonder what a lineup would look like with Isaac at the 5, Big AJ at the 4. And then if you just want to be ultra big, what if you put Robbie Hummel at the 3, Kelsey Barlow and John Octius at the 1 and 2? Are we going to go fast and you put me out there? You still get put Kelsey, John, Rob, AJ. It's so many variables. I mean, even a guy like Cal Mangus, Frank Gaines is a big time.
Big player, yeah.
Cal Mangus is a great scorer for what he's done there in Iowa. You get a guy like Jaquil Taylor is going to be in there blocking shots, plugging up holes, Evan Brujo. Like, it's so many ways it could go. It's actually, I think Ryan Smith has a lot of good problems on his hand, and it plays to our advantage.
Yeah, it's interesting on this tournament because it's gotten a lot of play. You're going to be playing in front of a full house, as I understand it, or tickets are going fast. You're not that far removed from having played. So it's really going to be something to be able to watch, these icons of Purdue basketball play. And yet teams are interesting when you only have a short time. What do you think some things are from your perspective that you really got to lock down as a team early to get to play at the highest level, because you at the point guard position are going to have to help do that. What if you're going to prioritize, from that short practice time? What do you need to get done as a team to be at maximum potential when you take on the Volunteers on the 23rd?
I think the first thing is going to be just establishing defense is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because offensively, we all feel like, I feel like every guy on the team feels like they can score in some type of form or fashion. So we have to just get guys to understand defense first, because we don't know how our offense and our chemistry, obviously on the offensive end, is going to form the first game. We may come out, we miss a couple shots early, but if we hang our hats on defense, like Coach Parent said, the scoreboard never changes, and we can adjust offensively. Obviously, we have a mismatch. Let's use that. Let's go inside to our bigs first and foremost. Let's get that established. We got guys that can shoot the ball, but let's probably play through our bigs, play, adjust, know when to play with our bigs, and obviously know when to take transitional shots and make the right play. Don't worry about your numbers. Make the right play. Let's play winning basketball like we know we should do. So I think the two main emphasis is defense and just playing the right way and having fun, and the rest we figure out.
Question, and Brian Newbert from our staff, who wanted me to ask about Paul Lusk and just in his coming back as an assistant coach. What did he mean? You turned into one of the lockdown defenders in the Big Ten, but what does he mean from a defensive standpoint in terms of being an assistant coach on Matt Painter's staff? What did you learn working with him?
Man, it's great to have, I call Uncle Paulie, but having Coach Paul, it's great because he's tough. He respects defense. He emphasizes it. I'll never forget. Like when I first got here, I thought, I'm like, Coach don't like me. I don't know. Like he kind of like me, but don't. And then Taylor Battle. I remember I had that game. Taylor Battle didn't score, and he just like baby stacks. Now that's a man's performance, and he values defense, and you want to obviously earn your coach's respects. He knows defense. He's tough mind. He's tough nose. So he's going to embody that. And obviously he comes from the era of early in the Purdue defenses, the Chris Kramer. He's had those guys. So he's going to instill that into these young guys, how valuable and important that is to win a Big Ten championship and continue to play in the NCAA tournament at a high level.
All right. If you had a chance to give a talk to the 2021-22 team, the first day of practice, you've got a very talented group, somebody you experienced it as a player as well, being ranked, in the top dozen to start the season. What's your message to those guys in terms of what they need to do to get to that level and stay at that level during this upcoming season?
For me, I would tell them to embrace the moment. It's definitely special, just even to come in to what they're coming into this season and the hype around it, but to also remain hungry. Remember, now that everybody is giving you their best shot, you used to be able to chase people and kind of maybe I wouldn't say take a day off, because it's never a day off, but you may look at a game on a schedule and kind of don't get up for it as much as you should. But now you are the hunted. Everybody wants to knock off Purdue. So embrace knowing everybody wants to beat you, but stay hungry and take full advantage of it.
Well said. The coach may have you in there at some point to do that, I'm thinking. All right, tell us a little bit about what Lewis Jackson's day job is, and what is keeping you as busy these days, in addition to getting ready for the TBT.
So between we do with the Rayfield Davis Bigger Than Basketball camps, we kind of travel between West Lafayette and Fort Wayne. That's been the big part. We've probably done that the last 6 months here. And then I'm actually living in Marion, Indiana right now with former manager Jordan Delks,
yeah.
and then from Purdue point guard Courtney Moses, which now Courtney Moses Delks. They have CTA training academy over there in Marion, Indiana. I joined their program. So right now I've just been really training kids, been doing a lot of training, being involved in basketball has been the big thing right now, and kind of carrying on to that. So lot of training, going back home, training kids as well. Just kind of been like a traveling trainer at this point right now, which has been real cool.
Great for you. It is proof that the little guy can play in this game and play well. You are living proof of that. and again, beloved by Purdue fans for good reasons. I still think one of the best, I look back at one of my favorite games. I don't know which game it was, Michigan State. It might have been in 11 or maybe it was in 12, where you just literally drove the basket every time against one of the better defenses in the country. Tom Izzo's defense. How in the heck did you do that? I mean, you're that relentless feeling. I think you were forever endeared by Purdue fans by your ability to do that.
That was a great game. That's 2011.
Okay.
College game day. Michigan State. I always got hyped up for Michigan State because most of the time we played them. Obviously, it's a big game on TV, but it always mattered in the Big Ten championship race. Never played Michigan State early in the year. It's always mattered, and that was the year I was just kind of breaking out. Etwan and Juwan were on me a little bit more, like shoot the ball, like be aggressive, shoot the ball. And in my mind, I know Purdue fans probably wonder why I always attacked the rim. I always felt like I was 6'3", 6'4". So
That's good.
Like I'm going to the paint, and after I remember I made my first shot, and then after that, coach called my number, and after I got the first one, I was just like, okay, it's my night. It's my night. And coach just kept calling my number. I was ultra aggressive. Etwan and Juwan and the rest of the guys kept encouraging me. Yeah, that was a great game.
Yeah, that was an amazing season. Of course, Rob's injury, but you guys made the most of it. That game, the Ohio State game when Etwan went off. I know you had every assist on every basket. I guarantee that. That's how the story goes. But that was one of the great performances I've seen in the history of Mackey Arena when Etwan went for 38 that day. Unbelievable. So, Lewis, thanks so much for your time. I can't wait to watch on July 23rd, and I think you guys will have a blast getting ready for this, just because I think you're all friends, and that's a big part of this too, is the fact that you can reconnect with some of not only your best friends but guys that have meant a lot to Purdue basketball.
Absolutely. Just before I definitely want to thank you for having me, and I do want to touch on that point you said. Like, we are a real Purdue family. And this is the beautiful part about TV, because now all these guys, we get to merge each other's classes, and we get to finally, the things we talked about, and we all are a big family. Everybody's going to enjoy it. We're still together, and it's more for the Boiler fans. It's definitely more for the Boiler fans, and just want to give our fan base just another game to watch and let them know we still appreciate them, and we're thankful for everything they've done for us and the support they've given us.
Well, I know one thing, they will be watching, that's for sure, on the 20th. Those that won't be in attendance, and I know that that's going to be a hard ticket to get as well. But Lewis, again, thanks. Good luck with your prep. Good luck with the camps. Ray Davis is done so much in basketball. I love what he's doing in terms of making a difference, and and you're doing the same thing. That's a big deal for kids to get a chance to see a person like yourself and try to emulate what you mean on and off the basketball court.
Thank you. Definitely appreciate you having me.